In this video, we'll be hunting a box of pennies, as well as seeing how much progress we can make to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older, and we'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors, or varieties, or any other cool things we can find, as well as setting aside any copper we can find to see how much we can fill the copper jar. And I do just have this one box right now, but depending on the finds, I'll probably end up adding one more box onto this video. And I don't see any enders, so we'll have to look for some good finds in the rolls. So let's start the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll 12, and we're finally going to have the first wheat scent of the box. All we've gotten is a Canadian and some side finds so far, but I just opened this roll. You see the edge of a wheat scent right here, and it's going to be a 1950 minted in Denver. Next roll, and after its slow start, the box is given 2 wheat cents and 2 rolls right next to each other. This one's just a few coins in. Hopefully the box can start heating up. This wheat cent's going to be 1949 out of Denver. Roll 18, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 3. Has some gunk on it, but it is a 1944 Denver. Roll 27. Box has been pretty slow so far, just 3 wheats and 2 Canadians, but we're going to have a third Canadian right here, and I bring you in because I see the date is 1952, which means I'm pretty sure this is a last year King George Canadian. It's in pretty decent shape as well. That's an awesome find. Roll 29, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 4, and it is before 1940. It's a 1936 out of Philly. It's a common year, and of course we already have this one for the album, but I'm still happy with any pre-40s wheat scent, and that really gives me some hope for the rest of the box. Roll 33, and we're going to have wheat scent number 5, although I don't think I can see a year. I looked at it for a little bit already, and I really can't see the last digit of the date. As you can see, it definitely is a wheat scent, but the last digit is just corroded away. But I do know it's a 1950 something from Denver, so it doesn't really matter. All the 50s Denvers are common, and of course we already had them for the album. But it is still wheat scent number 5. Roll 43, and I just uncovered wheat scent number 6 of the box, and it's pretty beat up, but it is a 1944 out of Philly. Just opened roll 47, and I see the edge of wheat scent number 7 for the box right here near the back of the roll. And it's going to be a 1958 Denver. Roll 49, and the box isn't done yet. Just open the roll, and I see the edge of wheat scent number 8 right here, and it's going to be a 1954 Denver. That was all for penny box number 1, and it was an okay box. We ended up with 8 wheat cents, which is a little under the 10 I like to go for. But we did get one from pre-1940 and 1936 out of Philly, which is great to see. And then we also got 5 Canadians, with one being a 1952 King George, which is a great find. So since the finds were a little bit light in that first box, I am going to add a second box onto this video when I can get one. So I'll bring you back when I have some more pennies to hunt for this video. Alright, I am back, and I don't just have one box. I picked up 2 more boxes, so I'm just going to make this a 3-box penny hunt and album fill episode. And it might make the video a little bit long, but I hope that's alright. And neither of these boxes have any enders, so of course I'll have to look for some good finds in the rolls. So let's start hunting box number 2, and hopefully we can get some good finds. Roll 4, and we've already pulled out a couple of Canadians for box 2, but I just uncovered the first wheat scent of this box, which is 1951 Denver. We're on roll 28, and we still only have 1 wheat scent for box 2. Definitely got her doing 3 boxes for this video since this box has been super cold. But I bring you in, not for another wheat scent sadly, but we do have 1951 Canadian scent, which is going to be the second King George of the hunt, which is a great find. Now hopefully the box can pick up the pace on the wheat scents. I just opened roll 35, and of course so far we've only just gotten 1 wheat scent and a King George plus a few more Canadians, but I just opened this roll. I see a Canadian there, some sort of gold colored penny there, a wheat scent there, and a wheat scent there. So after all that time with like nothing, we get this roll, which is kind of crazy, with 2 wheat scents, double the amount we've gotten in the whole box. This first wheat scent's going to be from the 30s, 1939 out of Philly. Don't need it for the album, but great to see a 30s wheat cent after all this time. Then the next find is going to be the other wheat cent right here, which is going to be a 1956 Denver. Third wheat cent out of the box. And then we have this gold colored coin. Not sure if it's going to be gold plated or what. It's a 1984, just might just be a gold tone. Not sure about that. And then let's just pull out the Canadian since I already have you here. 2001. That was definitely a great roll to see after absolutely nothing for so many rolls. Roll 38, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 4 for this box. Getting a little bit more hot on the wheat cents, and this one is a corroded 1944 Philly. Just opened roll 41, and we are going to make 5 wheat cents in this really slow box because I just opened this roll and I see the edge of a wheat cent right here, and it's going to be a 1946 minted in Denver. Roll 45, just uncovered another wheat cent for box 2, and this is going to be the 6th one of the box, and it is 1940 out of Philly. Roll 45, and we have a variety found. I saw this as soon as I put it into the scope. We have a 2015 Philly DDO, and when I put it under the scope, immediately saw very strong doubling of the date, some more south doubling on all of the digits of the date, as well as in Liberty, definitely very strong doubling. I have found a 2015 DDO before. That was a DDO 001, and when I looked this one up, we actually have a DDO 002. And as you can see, it has the same type of strong doubling in Liberty and the date. And if you go back to the example I just found, as you can see, clearly has the same type of doubling. But unfortunately, it's not in the best condition. It definitely has a little bit of corrosion on it on the front and the back, but still, that is a 2015 Philly DDO 002 found, which is awesome. And I did bring out the other one I found before, 001. It's in better shape, and it's slightly different kind of doubling. It's more top left, bottom right doubling. I found this in December of 2020. So now we have the DDO 001 and the DDO 002 for 2015, which is awesome. I'm super happy to have found a variety in this hunt. Box 2 has been hunted, and even though the first 30-something rolls only had 1 wheat cent, it was still a pretty good box because the last few rolls had 5 wheat cents. So we ended up with a total of 6 wheat cents for the box, which is a little less than I like to get, of course, but still not too bad. Did get one from the 30s, a 1939 from Philly, and Canadians, we ended up with 10 for the box, including a 1951 King George, plus a few side finds. We did get a 1960D small date, a gold colored 1984D. I doubt it's plated, probably just colored that way. And my favorite find of the box, we did get a 2015 DDO 002. Even though it's not in the best shape, still an awesome find. Now, let's go on to box number 3. Hopefully, we can get some more wheat cents in the last box, and hopefully, something for the album. Roll 5 is going to have the first find of box 3, and it's not going to be a wheat cent, but I opened the roll, and we have a reeded edge right there, so we're going to have some sort of foreign coin. Don't recognize it. Hopefully, it's something cool. Let's see what it is. It's an Australian coin from 1981, and it is an Australian 5-cent coin from 1981. Never found one of those in a penny roll, that's for sure. That is an awesome foreign find. Roll 10, and we're going to have the first wheat cent of box 3. Just uncovered it, and it is just 1956 from Denver. Next roll, just a few coins in, it's going to have the second wheat cent of box 3, which is 1946 minted in Philly. Halfway through the last box of the hunt, only 2 wheat pennies in the Australian foreign so far, plus some Canadians and other side finds, but I'm bringing you in not for another find, but I thought this would happen with the 3-box hunt. We just completely filled the copper jar in 2.5 boxes, so that is awesome. So what I'm going to do, since there's no more space in it, I'm going to empty it out and fill it with the rest of the rolls, the 25 remaining rolls. And then we'll see how much we get. So we'll get a jar and probably a little more copper, which is awesome. So I'm just letting you know I'm emptying the copper jar since it's filled up. And that is awesome. Now let's do the second half of the third box. Just opened roll 30, and I see the edge of the third wheat cent of box 3. Has been a very slow box so far, only 3 wheat cents and 30 rolls. Hopefully it can heat up in the last 20, but this wheat cent is 1950, minted in Denver. Roll 41, just uncovered the fourth wheat cent of the third box, and it is 1955, out of Philly. Last roll of the hunt is going to give us one more wheat cent, just a few coins into the roll, just uncovered it. So we're going to make 5 wheat cents for box 3. Not too much, but it's a little bit. And this one is in 1945, out of Philly. All 3 penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 16 1959s, 28 estimates, and 41 2009s. Canadians, we ended up with 24 for the 3 boxes, including a couple of old ones. Surprisingly, no young heads, but we did get 2 King Georges, 1951 and a 1952, which was awesome. We got a few great side finds throughout the hunt as well, including this. I don't think it's gold-plated. I think it's just a gold card 1984. Still interesting to set aside. We got that cool foreign in box 3, which was a 1981 Australian 5-cent coin, which was awesome. Never seen one of those before. And then my favorite side find was that 2015 DDO number 2, which is an awesome find, even though it's not in the best shape. Still awesome to find a DDO. And we also got one 1960D small date throughout the hunt as well, which is great to see. Then lastly, wheat cents, we ended up with 19 for the 3 boxes, which is definitely less than I like to see. I like to see about 10 per box, so that would be about 30. Only got 19, but that's alright. All of them were pretty much common ones in the 40s and 50s. We did get a couple from the 30s, which were 1936 and a 1939, both from Philly. Don't need any of those for the album. They're both pretty common, but still cool to see a couple from the 30s. And we also did get one dateless one as well, 1950 something from Denver. Doesn't really matter. It's common either way. Lastly, for the copper, of course, I showed you we filled the copper jar. This isn't all we got. So we got 1 jar plus this amount of copper, which was awesome to fill the jar for 3 boxes. So definitely it did good on the copper. It's a lot of finds on the board. We'll just have to see if we get anything for the album. I don't think we'll have any additions, but hopefully we'll have an upgrade or 2. So now let's go through the finds and look at the album, and I'll bring you back with an album update. Alright, just finished adding and upgrading everything in the album, and here's how the album looks. Unfortunately, even though we hunted 3 boxes in this episode, we didn't get any album additions as the boxes were pretty slow for wheat cents, but we did get 2 upgrades, which is pretty good. First upgrade, we did upgrade the 1939 Philly. The one we had before had some staining on it, and this one's pretty nice, so we added that one to the album. And the other upgrade we had was a memorial cent, 1960D large date. The other one had some black stains on it, and this one's a really nice BU red example, so that's also an awesome upgrade to add. Hopefully in the next episode we can actually have some additions, since we didn't have any this episode, but either way, this was still a fun 3-box penny hunt and album fill series episode.